Hello, hello, and welcome to the Rock and Roll Podcast. I am your host, John Harris, and today on Rock and Roll Podcast, we have another one down. You have to yell it. There's an exclamation point after the band's name, so you have to yell it. They have a new album called A Bitter Descent. It was released on November 5th. Right now I'm being joined by Marcus and Ryan to share some more information about this stellar release, as well as what the boys have got going on. So Marcus, Ryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Absolutely. Great to have you boys on. One of the things I absolutely loved, from the artwork down to the music videos, everything, the sense of humor. I really dig when I can see that a band has a sense of humor.
Yeah, we're kind of memesters.
Oh, big time.
I don't know if memester would call ourselves memesters, but yeah, we just like to have fun. We're sad, but we like to have fun.
That's what I enjoyed the most about it. Was you've got A Bitter Descent, and I believe, if I remember correctly, there's a balloon with a sad face on it. But there's just something so cheeky about it.
Yeah, it is pretty funny because just like that was what the intention was. Like the idea for the album art came from my sister. My little sister came home from school, and I think it was like her birthday, and they got her one of those like smiley face balloons from the dollar store. But like I hadn't been home for a while, so it was all deflated, and I was just like, something about that is so like just funny. So then I was just thinking if there was like a frowny face version of it, and that's kind of how it came to be.
Yeah. Well, how do we describe A Bitter Descent? Well, a frowny face helium balloon, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Okay, so take us through this record then. What is this record about, A Bitter Descent? You say you're sad, but you have a sense of humor about it. So what sort of sadness went into crafting this record?
So, I mean, the record as a whole kind of goes through a couple different topics. The primary topic was just trying to deal with like a lot of mental health problems that I was going through at the time because I was in college and also just going through a very, very messy breakup, which a lot of the songs are about that in true pop punk fashion. But it wasn't just that. It was just like kind of just feeling like everything was crumbling all at once. And I don't know, like, I guess the record is a lot about just like the loss of relationship and like trying to come out of it on the other side with like being fully aware that things aren't as bad as you think they are, but like just trying to talk about it. Like on our songs like Chump Charity and Something Left to Save, like they were almost more of like letters to myself in a way to like try to be like, you know what, like things aren't so bad. It's just you feel this kind of like weight on yourself right now. And I think another thing too why we named it A Bitter Descent is because a lot of our older music was very like upbeat and like easycore and like, you know, like pop punky, but where it's like we still have those roots here, but it's more of like a mature and like the topics are more serious, I guess.
Okay. Well, you mentioned a very serious topic, mental health in college and going through breakups. And I imagine you're not going through any of that. How do you write pop punk music?
Very true.
But I mean, Blink-182 did it, and they didn't have any of that stuff going on. So I mean, there's got to be a recipe somewhere.
That's true. I always think about how a lot of the late Blink records, they were like in their 30s writing about like high school, and it was really weird, but kind of all at the same time.
Yeah, or all those teen movies that are actually played by actors who are 35.
Yep, exactly.
Beautiful. But you mentioned something very important, mental health in college. And just recently, I've had the privilege to chat with some college students who are not having a fun time with the pandemic and mental health in college and whatever else. So it's obviously something that is affecting people even outside of the pandemic, but also in the pandemic as well. Some people are not able to digest the online learning environment or the hybrid learning environment. You mind sharing maybe a bit more about what you went through and how you pulled yourself out of it?
Yeah, sure. So to preface this, I started writing this record in like 2017. So it was before, COVID obviously, but like, it was like between 2017 and 2020, I was writing it. So like half the songs are from pre-COVID, half or like maybe like 3 or 4 were like during. But anyways, I guess for me, I just felt a lot of pressure on myself because I was going to Berklee College of Music. And when you're at that school, there's just so much talent surrounding you all the time. So there was just a lot of pressure to be like, everyone was there to be a successful musician, but like, obviously not everyone is going to be the biggest star in the world. And not that I even wanted that, but I just wanted to be able to make music my career. And just like thinking about how I was going to balance, playing shows with AOD and like my social life and everything, where I was constantly like writing songs and doing homework and doing all of this stuff. It was just like a lot of pressure to have on yourself all at once. And I think it just like took a really big toll on me because I just was like, I really just wanted AOD to be like my life. And I still want it to be my life. But at the time I was like, I need to finish school too, or else like, I don't know, I won't have a college degree and that would be bad. So like what I really did to like help myself was, like I said, I was going through like a breakup at the time too. So just a lot of things all at once, is I just like tried to realize that I don't need to like rely on other people to like make myself happy. I really just took time for myself and like really just try to enjoy time with my friends, because I was just like so inside my head the whole time of school. It just felt like one like big long blur of like depressive thoughts and like stress and blah blah blah. But like I think the biggest thing is just taking time for yourself and like trying to find yourself and realize that like there's more to life than like just trying to strive for this like success that might not even happen. Like you need to like just live your life. And going to COVID too, for me, obviously, like everyone else, like COVID really fucked me up in a lot of ways of just like mentally being home all the time. And like Exeter, the song, is a lot about like me just being home and being like, damn, like I'm half in school, half at home. Like I know I need to leave to like succeed, but I also like my home a little bit too. So I don't know. I think like it's just, I don't know. I maybe just threw out a lot of information all at once trying to sum up like 4 years of my life. But I guess my main point is to help my mental health. I really just decided, you know what? This is my life. I'm going to take time to myself. I'm going to take my time and just like work on the things that are important to me, which is like my band and my friends and my family.
Britney Spears has a song called Stronger.
Yeah.
Now I'm stronger than yesterday. Now it's nothing but my way. My loneliness ain't killing me no more. I'm stronger.
My girl. Free Britney. Well, she's free now.
She is free now. Yeah. Did that affect you at all? I mean, you are wearing a Britney Spears shirt, so I imagine that you're a fan.
Oh yeah. Like I mean, my sister really got me into Britney when I was like younger, and obviously she was like one of the first pop stars growing up for me, where I was like, this is like the pop star is Britney Spears. So like just seeing her spiral too when she like shaved her head back in the day, like I just felt I was like kind of in that leave Britney alone like side of things, because like it is a lot of pressure for her. And like also just hearing all the things that she had to go through with her family, and even like Jamie Lynn Spears like not taking her side. Like, you ruined Zoe 101, so like come on, why you gotta be like this, I don't know. It definitely affected me, but I'm glad she's free. Good for her.
Yeah. And are you free now that the dead weight is gone?
I would like to say so.
We're trying to be free.
Yeah. The dead weight of old band members, which is what that song is about, still sometimes drags us down a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
it's always lingering above us, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, we're doing better.
Yeah,
that's good. We're doing good now. I'm making time for me. I'm canning goods now. That's what I'm doing. I'm canning things. I'm canning vegetables. Time for me. Getting a good headspace,
Oh, yeah. Throughout pump left and right.
Yeah, fan freaking tastic. Okay, so $10 t-shirt at Target. Britney Spears. We talked about mental health in college. We've chatted a bit about the song Deadweight. The record as a whole, A Bitter Descent. That's another one that I found a video for is Headspace. I know you guys wanted to chat about Exeter, and we can, but since there's another video available for Headspace, let's chat about that. Did we already chat about Headspace?
We haven't yet. Headspace was very interesting because we actually filmed an entire other music video for Headspace that did not get released, and it was supposed to be out in like 2019.
2019, yeah,
or end of 2020. No, it had to have been 2019, right? Or end of 2020. End of 2020.
End of 2020.
And it just didn't come out the way we wanted it to, and we felt bad. But it was also a free video because we had college students do it, so it was like whatever. But also, just like very interesting that we've done 2 music videos for that song, and the second one we worked with Killing It Entertainment, who does music videos in our scene with a lot of metal bands mostly, but like they did such a great job with that video. We're so stoked on it. We actually filmed some of it in this room.
Yeah.
But yeah, that song is very much just about, as I was talking about earlier, like of my like big breakup of college and like thinking. It was mostly about thinking that I was all right and being like, this is what's best for both of us. But then like the next day going into school and seeing my ex in the hallway and like, there's like the line where I'm like, when I saw your face, I froze in place. Like it's very much just about being like frozen and being like, fuck, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I have to see you every single day. And like, I'm going through all this like mental anguish. And another fun fact, there's a meditation app called Headspace that I was using to overcome my mental health problems, and that is partially why it's called Headspace, because that app very much helped me. I don't know if I ever told you that either.
I had no idea.
Look on your face right now, like, who even is this guy? This is Britney Spears shirt, so I knew that part. Very cool. So the Headspace app worked for you, and that's a really cool one. I have tried the Headspace app a couple of times myself with little to no success, but I get how it would work for some people. What was it about the app that worked for you?
I think what worked for me is I always thought of meditation as like how do people clear their mind? I'm always like, I have a million thoughts all at once. But having like the app actually like lead you through and like kind of cornily talk to you in like a very calming voice, be like, pay attention to like the cars outside and like your outside surroundings, like just like waking up every morning and doing that made me really calm, so that when I went in the like my classes in the morning and stuff, I wasn't like had a million thoughts in my head. I was just like kind of starting the day more fresh.
It's beautiful. The other track we wanted to chat about today was Exeter. So talk to us about Exeter.
Cool. Exeter is probably, I would say, maybe our favorite song on the album.
100% my number one song. And that was probably one of the most fun songs to write and record, for sure.
Yeah. The reason why I want to talk about it is because I think that it's the last song we finished and the last song we tracked on the album, too. So I think it's like very much, like I said before, a lot about like COVID lyrically, and it's about I kind of want to go with the concept of like a pop punk song that was almost the opposite of the generic one, where it's like usually pop punk songs are like about wanting to leave your hometown, whereas like COVID struck, I went home, I was doing half my classes from home, and I'm like, I kind of love my hometown a little bit, even though it's like this very backwoodsy, like middle of nowhere Rhode Island hometown. Like there's just some charm about it, and like there was a point where I was kind of just like, maybe I could just like vibe here for a while, but then I like thought more about it, and I'm like, well, if I want to succeed in music, I should probably move away. So that's like kind of what the struggle of the song is about in a lot of ways. And yeah, I was literally writing that song basically until the morning of the studio. Like I literally like changed the key, rewrote like half the song, and like the month before, Ryan went in and added like all these insane drum fills.
Yeah, I didn't finish writing those drum fills until we were in the middle of recording that song.
Yeah.
I was just trying so many random things between you and Chris pointing out like, oh, just try this or try that. Everything was completely different going into that song recording, and half of it was changed by the time we finished it.
And then like the chorus lyrics literally were changing. Like I was on the way to the studio on the last day, and I'm like deciding between like 6 different lyrics I had. I don't know. That's what I think just made that song very interesting, is because it was just like it's the freshest song in my mind, I guess, because it was the last one we finished. But like it was like a lot of chaos that came together and then ended up being like the song that people are always like, that chorus, man, that's such a good chorus. And I'm like, hell yeah.
That confirmation of amazing.
Of course.
You said you were choosing between 6 different lyrics, and obviously you chose the right one because you're getting that confirmation back. My question is, what did it come down to? Was it something as simple as which vowels worked best, or was there something that you really wanted to say?
A little bit of both, because the first part of the chorus ends on all that I need is nearly out of reach. And then, like, I don't say a last line, it just stops, and then we go right into the verse. Whereas the second chorus goes, all that I need is nearly out of reach, so I know that I was meant to leave. And what I wanted to do with that was the first chorus is still, like, unsure. Like, do I want to leave? Do I want to stay? Whereas the second chorus is kind of like, I think that I need to leave. Like, it's more like assurance, I guess. And then also the second part of it is the last line, just so I know that I was meant to leave. Like, I had like 6 different just iterations of that line in different forms that I was like, what is the best that flows off my tongue? So me and our producer, Chris, like just recorded like 6 of them. And then we just went back and forth, and we're like, that's the one that makes the most sense and is the one that like flows the best, I guess.
Mm-hmm. You're making sense.
Hell yeah.
The things that
I'd just be talking, so.
Yeah. It's okay. So the album A Bitter Descent out November 5th. Is it with a record label? I don't have a record label for you guys.
No, all independent.
Okay. Are you guys shopping for record labels? What's the plan?
We were a little bit. Nothing really came to, no good enough bites for us to kind of take the leap into one.
Yeah.
So we kind of just swung with ourselves and hope for the best with this.
Okay.
We've been working with a small PR team, but other than that, it's all DIY.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had like 1 or 2 offers, but like they just didn't seem like the right fit for us at the moment. I think, because we just didn't really want to sign into anything that we knew would kind of like fuck us over later. Like, we kind of were just like, you know what? We're going to take a chance on ourselves. We recorded ourselves. We might as well just see how this goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In come Mike. So shout out to Mike if he's watching.
Man.
Yeah. He may be small, but he's powerful, baby.
Oh, yeah. He's really been helping us out a lot with this.
Yeah. We love him.
Yeah. Very cool stuff. I can think of a label. I know a lot of labels, but I can think of maybe one to get you in contact with, if that makes sense, if that's something that would be, I don't know, of interest to you guys. I can write you down in my rainbow pad. I have a rainbow pad that I will use to write it down. If you say so, I'm waiting.
That would be very beautiful.
Okay. All right. I'll do that for you guys. And there's another one. Chunk. No Captain Chunk.
Chunk.
Mm-hmm. That was fun when I had them on, because my son Gabriel loves Chunk. No, Captain Chunk. And I had the opportunity to have them on the show. So Gabriel was with me for that interview. And one of the things he asked was like, how do I say your guys' band name? And the cool thing was that they taught him how to say Chunk. No, Captain Chunk.
I was so happy, speaking of which, on the new album, that they actually finally put the sample from the movie in a song.
Yep.
I was like, let's go.
Especially when he produced the entire album,
Yeah.
too. It fits so perfectly.
I love Chunk.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Well, if you're actually interested in that interview, let me find that really quick. And I can link it to you, and I can also put it into the chat as well if anybody's interested in checking out the interview that we did with Chunk. No, Captain Chunk. All right, baby. So another one down. Got to yell it. New album, A Bitter Descent, out November 5th. Everywhere you consume music. We chatted about Deadweight, which has a video, Headspace, which has a video, the band's website, another one, down.bandcamp.com. In today's show notes, we also chatted about the track Exeter, $10 Britney Spears t-shirts available at Target, mental health in college, and the Headspace app, just for good measure. Boys, that concludes my questions. So thank you so much for coming on to the Rock and Roll Podcast today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.